I'm going to sort of kick us off a little bit. We'll still give it another minute or two for people to join. But again, as I was saying, my name is Michael Boothroyd. Welcome. I'm the Director of Admissions here at Campus Scholars. Really excited to be here with all of you, both at campus and tonight or today. I have over 20 years of experience working in admissions, helping folks figure out what's the right school for them, what's the right next step for them. I've worked both in traditional admissions recruiting, as well as working at different technological boot camps and things like that. So I have a lot of experience of helping either recent high school graduates or working adults find a good path forward. And I'm really excited to be here at campus because I really believe in the quality of the educational experience, the wraparound support, and just like the super cool environment. The people here are amazing. They really are great people to spend time with and hang out with in your video chats and get work done with. So all of the really good reasons in there. So really, really excited about that. I'm going to introduce to you the other people that you can see here, depending how you may see them above or below me. First and foremost, we've got Romeo, who started with us in January. You want to wave, Romeo, or say hello? Yeah, say hey, everyone. There you go. That way Romeo pops in the front there. And we'll do a little more formal interview in a second. And then we've got Cassandra. What's that? Hi to everyone, Cassandra.
Hey.
Okay, there you go. And of course, Josephine. Do you want to say hello, Josephine?
Hi, everyone.
Great. So excited to have everyone here tonight, and so grateful for our current students to be here. They're all actual current students in our program, and I'm really appreciative that you all made it here because I know you're busy with school and doing homework and projects, and I think several of you have class tonight. So really, thanks for being here, helping potential future students understand, what their path forward might be like. So before I get into and chatting a little bit with them and answering some of your questions, what is a little bit about campus? You might be newer to our program. We are a completely online applied associate degree in business administration. All of our classes are online but live, so very much like this experience where you got a teacher and students and very interactive, and the three of the students here will tell you more about that. All of our professors are from top colleges around the country that have excellent reviews. We're very careful about recruiting them to make sure that they really are passionate about teaching and want to teach these subjects with us. But they're all from schools all around the country, from NYU and Spelman and just all sorts of great schools. And they bring that sort of background and experience here. And then, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, we also provide tremendous wraparound personal and academic support from the day you practically start talking to us. Some of you have gone through the admissions process, know how involved we are with you with even that piece. But once you start on board, we really are there to make sure you are getting what you need out of class, supporting you if you're not. And, if you don't show up to class, we actually call you, we reach out to you, where are you? And so we're really engaged in your success. So we're partners with that to help you get everything you need to get that to be supported and to see that all out. So we're really unique, a little bit different, and we're really proud of that. But again, you get that associate's degree in there. So now what I'm going to do is switch this around a little bit so we can see everyone. And if you have questions, the folks who are attending, feel free to just start typing those in the chat, and I'm going to be picking and choosing from them and getting our people to answer them. I'll feed the questions out. But before we do that, or as people are thinking up their questions and want to put them in the chat, let's just do a brief introduction. So why don't we, start with you, Romeo. Why don't you just tell the group of people a little bit about yourself and what brought you to campus?
Well, hi, everyone. I'm Romeo again. So I started back in January, part of the first cohort here with campus. I'm currently in Orlando. I'm originally from Chicago, so if anyone's from Chicago here, what's up? What brought me to campus? I had left a four-year institution due to some financial issues and stuff like that. And then I was like, I need to get back to school because I hate not being in school. So I found campus, and the support from like the first second, it's amazing. They really talk to you, work with like, what are your goals in life? What do you want to do in the future? What do you want to do with this? And then even to this point now, it's July, that support never ever stops. So yeah.
Great. That's great to hear. Thank you. And it's July already. Can you believe it? And Cassandra, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what brought you to campus?
Cassandra. I'm based out of Phoenix, Arizona. What brought me to campus was I actually was started at a four-year university. I wasn't doing too good because it was so big and, just transitioning to a regular college. But then I kind of dropped out because didn't feel welcome, couldn't get the help that I need. And then I started up again with my degree in spring. So I decided to reach out to campus, and April, from day one that I sent in my information, she's been helping me. They got me through everything that I needed, and joining campus just made me feel, as a person. They helped me. They got me to where I need to be, especially with my grades. I'd never been so successful in college before until I started at campus. So, campus has been the best school that I have chose since I started my university time. But yeah.
Oh, thank you. That's wonderful. Thank you. Not last but not least, Josephine, tell us a little bit about yourself and then what brought you here.
Well, I am from Fort Lauderdale, and I also started off at a four-year university, and I just had to leave because of some financial issues. I took some time off and I started working, and that's kind of what led me to campus. I was ready to get back into school again, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but campus's live classes is really what attracted me. And ever since like my application, I've had someone helping me the entire way. And even throughout, I'm in my third quarter now, I've had someone helping and coaching me throughout the entire thing, and I've absolutely loved it.
Great. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Here's a question I get a lot. Tell us a little bit about this. Did you all come straight from high school? Did you take a break? And what was that like, either going straight on from high school, or if you took a break, what was that like? Let's just start with you, Josephine, since you're front and center.
So when I initially went to college, I went straight from high school. I started the summer after I graduated. And it was great because I went to one of the biggest schools in the country. I absolutely loved it. And I was super sad to leave. And now I'm ecstatic to be back in school because school is amazing and you learn so much. It helps you build structure. And there's so many other skills that you learn besides just the education that you're getting.
Right. Yeah. And to kind of extend on that, you went to a big school, you went to campus, now you're at campus. What's it like getting to know other students? How would you compare that?
I feel like because campus is a small school, it's actually easier to get to know other students because I've known Romeo since day one, like from our first classes together, and we've been able to grow a friendship just like I've been able to grow a friendship with everyone. It's almost like when you're in elementary to middle school, you know everyone in your class. And I actually like that because I used to think I wanted to be a small fish in a big pond, but campus really changed my perception, and I don't think I want to be that small fish in a big pond anymore.
Great. Okay. Excellent. Romeo, what did you do from high school? Did you go right through? Did you work at all? What was your journey like?
Yeah, so I went straight from high school to a four-year university, a private university. Yeah. So that was a little bit, it was a culture shock for me. So I did, 2.5 years there, and then, I took a little break after that. And then I ended up here, which I'm really happy about. And touching on what Josephine said, we've known each other since January, since classes started in January. And I act when I went to my four-year university, I didn't talk to anybody. I did not want to talk to anybody. But I actually reach out to her and my other classmates all the time just to have a simple conversation unrelated to school.
Wow. And do you just do texting and chatting, or do you do like quick video connections or?
Both.
Oh, cool. Excellent. That's cool. That's cool. Cassandra, tell me about your journey from high school to where you got here now.
I went from high school to a four-year university. It was a big transition. So I went from a private high school to a university that had over like 300 kids in my class. So I did that. I did for 2.5 years, and then I had a drop because my grandparents did pass back to back on that. So I wasn't, mentally and physically ready to continue school. So I did pretty much worked, and then I just got back into school. I took about 2-year gap. And then I went back to campus. So, and then I met one of my best friends in one of my classes now, and we talk every day. So it's been a fun transition.
It's amazing. And, I've had the pleasure of jumping into a few different things with the students, and it does seem like you all get to know each other. And I thought that was really extraordinary. Cassandra, I'm going to lead into the next question here for you because you're on camera, but also because I know you are going to work right now. Right? So talk to me. I know you're working. You've worked. How is it to transitioning to adding school into your life when you're working and you're staying working? How do you manage that?
Pretty much I have to have a balanced life. I make sure that my school goes around, make sure that my work goes around my school schedule, just because I did put work before school at one time, and I just got money hungry, and I was like, no, now I have to, focus on my degree because this is what I want to do. But, going to school and working full time, it's honestly one of the best feelings. You're able to manage your life so much better because, you have a consistent schedule that you have to follow. Then you have all your homeworks. And then I think it made me realize what my priorities in life are. So it's been pretty good for me.
Right. Okay. But it sounds like you really had to think that out and make those commitments to sort of make that not.
Because if you have to be dedicated to what you want to do, and if you want to conquer something in life, then you have to be committed. That's one thing that I've learned from going from a regular university to campus and then working full time, is that I have to be committed to and dedicated to what I want to finish in life.
Right. Okay. Do Romeo or Josephine, how do you guys balance other responsibilities that you might have here in your life and campus? How is that? How do you manage that?
Okay, I'll go. Sorry. So I actually work from home. That was a big thing for me. Like starting campus, I was like, it's easier for me. I didn't have a car at the time when I started campus, but like okay, I could go straight from work to class or vice versa. Either way. So I do have a set schedule now and everything. So that's better for me okay, this is how I can plan my day out. I know what I can and cannot do. And so it's really easy.
Now, I would imagine that like social life takes a hit, right? It sounds like you guys are really busy and disciplined, and that's amazing. And that's what it is sometimes. But is that correct? You have to like keep your friends not at school, sort of aware of what you're doing?
Yeah, for sure. And, and it's also important to have those friends that respect that, that are not overstepping their boundaries and stuff like that. They know that, hey, I got work and I have class, and they respect that, and, they're supportive of that.
Cool. Josephine, how about you? How do you pull it all together?
Well, one thing that helps is that I do work from home too, but I do a lot of different things. Like I do a multitude of different things. So I always just try to, I guess, be my own like parent and remind myself that school comes first. And it's annoying because no one else is going to remind you once you get to a certain age. So I just keep trying to remind myself like school comes first. My GPA matters. I want to transition to another school. So I have to put my best foot forward so I can get scholarship money and transition smoothly. And I keep reminding myself it's only 2 years and then I'm done.
That's right. It's not forever. And if anyone's wondering, behind Josephine, that blurring, I believe, is her dog's tail. So, so if you can see that, maybe you can see it, maybe you can't, but that's, there's quite a few dogs in the background. And I know Romeo has some of his as well, which is nice. You can go to school with your dog. But sometimes they don't respect your study habits, right? So great. what has been, I'm going to push you guys a little bit. What has been sort of the hardest thing, either the hardest class or the biggest, challenge you've had? Not the hardest, but what's like a challenge you've had or something, difficult about the program, so people can understand, some of the challenges they're going to get into. Josephine, let's start with you. You're on the camera again.
I would say one of the most challenging things is trying to stay on top of everything because everything is online. So, for instance, I had to miss about a week of school last week because of work things, and it was so overwhelming to try to catch myself up. And it can be really hard when you're doing things online because you have to motivate yourself. But I really just, when I get stressed like that and I get overwhelmed, I try to just sit myself down and come up with a game plan and just tackle it like brick by brick, because it is very different from in-person school. Although we have live classes, it's still different.
Sure.
You don't always want to sit there and watch a recording because it's, in all honesty, it's a much more boring YouTube video. So
Sure. Especially as a makeup, right? It's one thing to be there live with everyone else and you can ask a question. There is something about it, but if you miss it and then you go back to watch it, that takes a little bit of self-discipline, but you have to do it. And if you don't, then the next class you're behind on, right? So it's not like, I do think that's something about our curriculum that people have to commit to, which is you've got to stay current. Missing a couple of classes, then that doesn't mean you just show up the next one. I mean, you do, but it's hard to, you got to really kind of keep it going. Great. Thank you for that honesty. Cassandra, what about you? What's been something, a challenge or something that you've solved?
I mean, trying to stay on task because, it's live, so you have so much distraction around you. So self-discipline is one of the biggest things that you need because, you have the urge to just go on your phone or, watch TV, just get distracted with everything. But I learned so much of staying on focus and, getting ahead on your homework. I used to be slacking a lot. So one of my challenges for this this quarter was not to get slack. Just keep going, keep pushing yourself, because if you get ahead of yourself, then you'll be okay at a pace moment. And that's what I have learned a lot joining from campus too.
That's right. Really, I've heard that from another student too, which is like, just get ahead of it, stay with it. And then it's kind of like, it's almost like getting up early to get on the road for a long car drive. If you leave early, you kind of doing great. You enjoy the drive. If you're running late and you fight the traffic the whole way.
Yes.
Yeah. Great. What about you, Romeo?
Yeah, similar to Josephine, it's like work and school, like, you don't ever want to fill in the positions that you have to choose one out over the other. So initially starting, that was my biggest issue. My job wasn't too understanding that I had to go to school. Thank God I found a new job, but it's just like, and sometimes you get like tired from work. You're like, I just worked an 8-hour shift.
Right.
And now I have to go to class. But, when you want something so bad and you're dedicated to it, that kind of just goes out the window. You just go for it.
Wow, cool. Wow, very impressive. What's something that you've learned in the last, since you've been in classes, that's really surprised you? Either something academic from a class or something about yourself, or, what's something you've learned that kind of surprised you that maybe you didn't know before? Let's go with you, Romeo, if you're ready for me.
Yeah. I guess like my impact on others, or like my ability to brighten a room. That is something that, like I really don't like being on camera that much. I'm very like, no, but being with campus, it's made me more confident, and, like making people laugh and things like that. Like that's really, it makes me happy. So
fabulous. Yeah, that like I relate to that going to college, because I felt like when I went to college, I just kind of bloomed a little, like something happened where I was just more in high school I just wasn't, and then college I just was, and I know what you mean, that kind of like I kind of became more of myself. So it sounds like that's kind of happened for you, which is awesome. And thanks for sharing that. That's really amazing that you just shared that. Cassandra, what's something interesting? It can be a subject matter in school or something about your journey here with us. that surprised you?
What surprised me the most about myself is I didn't really know that I could actually get the grades that I've been getting. You know, being able to I'm gonna go back to focus because when I was at a 4-year university, I could not focus. I always got, always went out, and I never had discipline because I wasn't mature enough, at that time. But taking that gap break, but coming to campus had made me mature so much to realize what I need in life and what I need to do for it. And having the support around everyone, including my professors, they have been outstanding. I can tell you that. Outstanding. They always check on me. And just knowing that I could get the grades that I could get. I realized so much that putting the effort into it made me realize, okay, I could succeed in life after this.
Nice. It's amazing how much easier your life gets if you stay on top of your homework. Like it's I remember learning that. It's like, oh wait, the teacher's happy. And it's hard because life gets in the way. But when you can, okay, cool. So what about you? What's something that you discovered?
So going in to campus, I was really anxious because I had been out of school for about 2 years and I always excelled as a student, but taking a large break, that scares you because, when you speak to adults, they always say, I'm not in school, so my mind doesn't work the same. When you're out of school, if you don't use it, you lose it. So I was super, super scared, but with campus's support, I was just surprised at the amount of support we got and how eager everyone is to just want to help you. And I feel as though it's not just my own brain that's gotten my grades, it's also the support that I get from the TAs and our academic coach to our entire faculty. Honestly, everyone on faculty is so supportive. And I would have never expected that because I was the type of person who never went to their college TAs because I was scared that they wouldn't want to help me.
Wow. How did you first become aware that and for those of you who don't know, we have TAs, they're called teaching assistants. So some of our classes have the professor and then they also have a TA that helps with either subclasses or things like that. But how did you first discover TAs?
Well, I first discovered them in my first college experience. I didn't really know much about what they did. All of my professors would just say, if you need extra help, go to my TA on this day at this time, but I never saw who they were. Versus at campus, the TAs come to every single class and they're always there. We also have extra classes that the TAs run. So I feel like those extra classes they don't force us, but they encourage us to build a relationship with the TA that we normally wouldn't in a normal class setting.
Cool, thank you. Let's see. Tell me about one of your teachers and their teaching style and what they're like. We'll just throw this out. Who wants to go first? Okay, Cassandra, what you got?
The one professor that stood out to me the most this quarter and last quarter was Professor Biscoff. Her teaching style is amazing. I never loved, the philosophy and stuff. I never could get into it. But her teaching style is something else. She made me her context of clues, just throwing out real life experiences, doing certain things made me okay, I actually do like this class a lot. And she's amazing. One of the best professors I have ever had.
What's the subject again?
I think it's not philosophy. Well, maybe philosophy.
Intro to logic?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. That's like philosophy. That's absolutely philosophy. Yeah, that's a cool class. But yeah, you might not know it. Oh, that's awesome. Who else has a teacher they can describe to people attending?
Everyone in the third quarter is currently taking political science with Professor Keltz, and it's honestly been amazing because as we all know, like campus is a community college and we have top professors, and Professor Keltz teaches at Princeton. And it honestly makes me feel like I can go to Princeton or I can go to an Ivy after transitioning from campus because
yeah.
of the level that he teaches. And
Wow.
he makes it really easy to understand. He's very personable. All of our professors are honestly extremely personable. They're all just honestly amazing people, and they all actually want to get to know us, which is different from other professors in like a large
Sure.
setting.
Yeah, they're not asked to do that, and they're given too many students to know it. I mean, it's not even the professors. Maybe those professors want to, but they can't, right? For whatever reason, the structure of the school, and but here we structure it so they can. Part of that's being it online, so it's and we can get great professors because it is online. It's kind of easier for them to teach here because they don't have to drive either, right? They can just log into whenever class is happening. So that burden of what would it be on their life is also a little bit easier, so they don't mind taking this on and talk. So it's interesting, all these different things that enable sort of really interesting people to be willing to sort of do this for us. Romeo, anyone you want to describe or fill us in on?
Yeah, so I have two. So first quarter was Professor Lowry for me, and for intro for logic and critical thinking. That class just like it was mentally stimulating for me, which is perfect. Coming right back into school, that's something that I feel like we needed. And then this quarter, for micro, I don't want to butcher his name, Professor H. I'm gonna say,
Okay.
yeah, he's just amazing. Any problems that I have, I could go to reach out to him, talk to him about anything. All the examples that we use in class are, real life examples or current event examples. So yeah.
Nice. It's nice to hear micro has a great teacher, because that's a tough one. I think microeconomics that's a tough one. So that's it's good to have a great professor, a fascinating one. And once you sort of get through the first couple of weeks, I think it comes together. But thank you. That's awesome. And we'll sort of begin to move to wrapping this up a little bit. But what are your goals? What do you think your academic career goals are? It can be anything. Has it, first of all, has it changed since you started school here? And what do you think you want to do? I know you got a whole nother year or so to go for you guys, so you got plenty of time to change your mind and come up with different ideas. But what do you has your idea changed since you started? And if you're willing to say where you're headed when you're sort of wrapping up here. Let's go with you, Romeo, since you're.
So once I finish with campus, I am gonna go to a 4-year university. I'm going to finish up my bachelor's in psych and communications. And then, get my master's and my doctorate in that. I want to open my own facility. So, that's another thing that made me want to go to campus. So I was like, business is something I'm going to need.
That's correct. Okay, cool. Excellent. How about you, Cassandra?
When I first started campus, I was thinking about continuing my family business into the funeral home stuff. But I decided not to. I'm actually a current assistant manager for one of the restaurants, and so I decided that I want to become a franchisee of opening up somewhere else and just continuing my experience with the restaurant industry. So learning right now a lot of the business stuff, especially the communication class. I have learned to pretty much help my employees, guide them where they need to be right now. So that's where I'm headed to.
Fabulous. What a plan. What a great plan. Thank you for sharing that. And how about you, Josephine?
Well, I definitely want to do something creative. I don't exactly know what. I know I'm 100% transitioning to a 4-year university. So I'm looking into either branching into marketing or public relations because I love content creation.
Great, excellent. Is that different than when you were coming into campus, or did you kind of have that idea already?
Coming into campus, I wanted to stay in the finance world because I work in finance currently. But I think I decided I need to stick to what I really like.
That's right. That's cool. Yeah, why not? Especially when you start doing well in these other classes, it kind of exposes you and you see the career there and all that. That's awesome. Fabulous. So let me Go back to here. I want to thank our three folks here, our panelists, for taking time out of their busy day, squeezing us in on car rides to work, in between dog walks and homework studying. So thank you so much, Josephine, Romeo, Cassandra. It's really great to hear all your stories and all that. And I really appreciate you spending time so other folks can get a handle on what it's like to be a student here from you all. For those of you who are considering going to campus, just keep in mind our priority deadline for applications is July 29th. We encourage you to get this done sooner and faster because you do get a better understanding of what your financial requirements are, things with FAFSA, if there's an additional scholarship you need, all of that works better. Also, you can begin to get prepared for school, which is really valuable. When you know where you're going and you can start making those decisions with your job and getting things like that, you can really begin to get that all together. Yeah, stay in touch with us if you haven't already. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. And what's one in the middle? Is that TikTok? I'm on TikTok. If you follow campus on TikTok, you may see one of my videos there that I made. So by all means, join us. We put a lot of fun content in there so people can understand what it's like to be at campus and all of that. Again, thank you so much to the three of you for being here. All the best to you in your studies, and really want to thank you. And if any of you, we didn't get to some of the questions, we'll look at them and get back to you and reach out. So thanks again, and everyone have a great night and stay cool. Bye, everyone.